so we're back in Classic to kind of continue our search for a 200 scoring whitetail, and I couldn't believe it when I looked, but it's been 2 weeks already since we hunted for the Recurve comp. It feels like that wasn't even a week ago, but the competition's running again, and I wanted to just head out and see if we could do as well as we did last time. We got our best whitetail since we started kind of looking for a 200, and we got a really nice mule deer as well, so I figure we're just going to start with the same kind of strategy. We're just going to fast travel to this tent and see if we can get lucky with a monster mule deer right away. Not sounding quite as good with a feral hog here instead of a mule deer, but we'll kind of call and see if there's any around. There actually are a couple of bucks kind of just wandering in over here. That one might not be too bad. See if we can get a better look at that. And there's one to the right as well. What is that guy? He's got a decent frame on him. 165 to 195, so that'll be a good start. And this one, I think, is more kind of average sized. Somewhere in the area of like 150, but we do have to take that biggest one with the recurve, and I'm a little worried, like, he's in the back. It might be difficult, so we're going to get out of here and go place some scent down and see if that kind of gets them going to there, because I don't know that we'd get a shot if we don't kind of direct them to one spot. That could actually cause a bit of a problem. It just depends on what they do. But if this group of does gets underneath us, they may spook and send the bucks kind of running with them, but actually, for some reason this guy's just coming straight in, so honestly, I'm willing to risk a kind of maybe not so good shot on this just to make sure we get him. Ooh. Or that. Didn't really think we were going to get through to anything to insta-drop him, but that works. If the does spook, so be it. We'll just kind of be happy that we got our good buck down, but we'll try to just hang out here and get a shot at one of the other ones. It kind of seems like the scent's not really doing all that much, unfortunately, because they're sort of just coming in wherever they want to towards the tower, but I would say this is going to be the best one we can go for. And if it doesn't spook anything, I'd be kind of surprised, but let's try this. Just into single lung anyway, so that's going to send everything off, but at least we can go and get our mule deer. I hadn't seen that one. That's a bigger one too, I think. Somehow he's not spooking, and I don't understand why, but he's just 165 to 190, but might as well get him in here too. I'm actually kind of surprised. They're just not really bothering to go towards the scent at all. But actually, he's stopping there. And I think there's still a doe hanging out here somewhere. Yeah, just right sort of underneath us. The tower might stop a shot at that angle anyway. I mean, I guess there's not much point. We'll just go ahead and spook her and that'll be fine, because we have to go track that other one. And the thing is, it's probably not going to be great because I saw some of the bucks ran off the direction we wanted to go in, and they might kind of end up, you know, taking our attention and grunting, and we'd end up calling them in. But I guess, if nothing else, we'll be eliminating a lot of bucks kind of early on, but I think this guy should score maybe a little above 181, so we can maybe even have a slightly better beginning. And actually, both of those we shot through the neck. Well, literally right above 181 at 182, but it is the bigger of the two. And I kind of wanted to do this just because they made a change to the trophy shot poses, and basically it allows you to like go from edit mode to moving to camera mode, whatever that's called, without the animal actually ragdolling again. And you can really kind of like fine-tune the hand placement around the antler. I just think that looks really nice, so that's the main reason I wanted to actually take that trophy shot. But we have one to go track over here, and then we'll get on to some other areas. And actually, he didn't get all that far, but I think he was the one shot that got actually down into the vitals, and that was the one that ran off, so kind of lucky to be quite honest, at least on the first one. The second one I kind of was meaning to go down through the neck with that shot, but we'll kind of go sort of along the road to maybe avoid the bucks that have spooked, and I think we can fast travel again in about 10 minutes, and we'll probably do that just to get like on the other side of that herd and not continue to spook them and run into them. I am so glad that I didn't track this guy, so I actually had his tracks kind of back where we came from, and they were going in the direction where we came from, so I sort of figured that I didn't want to spend the time. It was like 45 minutes old, and right after that he grunted, you know, up here kind of where I was headed, so it would not have been so good to spend a ton of time tracking him, and just to find out that he was already like near where I was, and then also for him to be not all that special, just 104, but that has got us in third now. So if we can get even a decent whitetail for the moment, we'll definitely be kind of top 2 area. I had actually forgotten that I even did it, but I filled this hog feeder yesterday just to see if anything good would show up, kind of just to test out the new trophy shot poses on. And there's a pretty good one just kind of wandering around pretty far from the feeder, actually. But this guy out here, 1010 to 1110. And I'd really like to get him. I just don't know, like, if I start to call, all these are going to be under the tower and spook. And then I looked out here. There's actually a pretty decent whitetail buck. I think he might be uneven with the tines, or maybe he's just got like one really short tine here. He's only 145 to 170, but that's definitely a good one that I want to get for our entry for now. This guy's kind of working his way back slowly. I mean, even 40 meters I'd be willing to take the shot and then like go chase the buck and track this guy after. So if he'll actually get back towards the feeder, we'll try it. And then, I mean, if the hogs don't spook towards the whitetail, we can just bring him in and get him from here. I mean, that's pretty much like 30. Probably by the time he stops, he will be. If he stays broadside for us, maybe we can just get that shot in there. That's a little further back than I wanted. I don't know if it was the wind or maybe just didn't quite put that where I wanted. If it's intestines, though, honestly, I'll be pretty fine with that. Like, that'll bring him down within a couple of minutes. I do think I want to mark the last place he gets to. I'm not super worried about the whitetail. If one of them does spook it, we'll go and get his tracks. I want to definitely pay attention to where this guy gets to, because that can save us actually quite a lot of time tracking. Last place I had him was right about where we put that marker. And the whitetail is just kind of still walking out there, so let's see if he'll come in. If we can get that, I'd like to get her out of the way. It's actually really nice she stopped. Just so she doesn't maybe spook towards our whitetail buck. He's actually getting pretty close, so I think that was a good idea. I mean, other than that one tine, though, he's got good tine length. I wouldn't be too surprised if he's somewhere up in the 160s, so he'll definitely help us a lot. Hopefully we can make a better shot on him than the pig. That'll work. And actually, one is sneaking in behind us here as well, so we might as well get him just to kind of get him out of the way. If he'll actually just stay still, kind of closer than I thought there at 20, so if we can just kind of get a shot at that while he's not moving. I can't believe he just spotted us there. I wonder what that was about. It's kind of a rare thing to happen, but we got single lung. Let's check the blood for the hog as well, and then we'll kind of decide what we need to do, because I think we got intestines. Honestly, I think that's probably best case scenario, so we'll have to take a look, but this guy, like I said, shouldn't be too bad. Even that was only lung liver, so maybe should stop taking shots from towers, because we were lucky to begin with on those first couple. The 159, that's got us into second place. That looks like maybe body blood? Yeah, that's going to take a while. It will bring him down, but we might as well track the other buck and just take our time, because I'd say 10 to 15 minutes it's going to take that hog to actually go down. And at least hopefully that kind of gained us a little more time for our hog to go down, because some species like the deer, once they sort of bed down, they won't get back up, but the hogs actually will, so we need to make sure we give him plenty of time. So we'll probably walk back, and by then I think it's going to be close to enough time for him to be down, so we might just kind of run after him tracking-wise. I also just completely forgot we even shot this doe over here, so kind of got lucky again. I wasn't going for a burn shot. Probably should stay out of towers if I can help it for the rest of this, but yeah, I think our hog's probably going to be done by now, so we'll go ahead and hopefully find him. And he actually even died in a pretty good spot. I mean, I think we can use the trophy shot pose that I was wanting to. And to be honest, I think he needed most of that time that we actually gave him, but 1090, almost up into the 1100 area, but that's definitely a good one. We'll see if we can get a trophy shot using the new animal pose. And I mean, this was the reason I filled the feeders, because you could never really properly show off the tusks on these. And the only issue I had was, for some reason, I couldn't rotate this one, and I know you can rotate the other one, so I'm not exactly sure what the deal with that was, and I think we could have made it look a little bit better, but honestly, that's probably the best feral hog trophy shot I've ever taken. And it's cool to actually get a random nice one while I'm not even looking for one. That's the first time I actually hit that feeder since I filled it, and I had completely forgotten I even did it. Ooh, that's actually not a bad buck. I couldn't even hear him, that's the weird part. Like, I never heard his footsteps. 130 to 155 that said, so not going to be improving our score. I knew he grunted down there. I mean, that's the reason that I was here and calling him in, but I never heard any footsteps. And he wasn't even that far away. That's kind of odd, but lung liver on a pretty heavy one. Almost 96 kilos, and 148 is not a bad buck, so I think that's actually going to be our last kill of this video. But I wanted to kind of show one little highlight, because my plan for kind of the rest of this recurve comp and the rest of the weekend is basically to hunt for it when I can, and if we get anything good, it'll be kind of like put in the next sort of search for a 200 whitetail video, but I wanted to include this little highlight that actually wasn't necessarily from the kind of whitetail grind. It was actually just when I was going out to maybe test the new trophy shot poses. A little albino whitetail doe stepped out, and I would have loved for that to be a buck, especially just like the timing with the new poses, but it was still cool. And quite honestly, earlier this hunt I mentioned probably having my best feral hog trophy shot ever. That's easily the best trophy shot I've ever taken with a female animal. Like, you can never get them posed that well, and I think it's really cool they added them, so I'm looking forward to more of those being added at some point. And we're probably going to do some hunts here in Classic that are away from whitetail and hunting species that some of those other poses can actually be for. So yeah, like I said, I think that's going to do it for this video. I'll definitely be hunting over the weekend for the Recurve comp to try to get a little higher place, but not a bad start. Got a couple of good bucks, and it was pretty neat to get that good sized feral hog as well. But anyway, that is going to do it. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.